Good morning, students. Welcome you again to the online classes. This class is for the students of class 11, and today we discuss the complex number. Now we have taken one class on that chapter, and we learn on that chapter that what is the general form of a complex number. Today we will discuss what is the geometrical representation of the complex number in Cartesian form and in scalar form of a complex number, and modulus and arguments of a complex number. Now look, we denote a complex number by z equal to a plus ib, where a is the real part of the complex number and b is the imaginary part of the complex number. Now if I take a set of rectangular axes as x o x dot and y o y dot. Now this is the real part of the complex number and this is the imaginary part of the complex number. Now if we consider this axis, this horizontal axis as real axis and this vertical axis as imaginary axis, then we can put any real number on that plane. For example, if I take z equal to 2 plus iota 3, that means suppose this is 1 2 1 2 3, so 2 comma 3, so this point is z equal to 2 plus I3, this point. If I take suppose z equal to minus 1 plus 2i, that means minus 1, this is z equal to minus 1 plus 2i. If I take another point, suppose z equal to minus 1 minus 1 minus 1 into iota, or only, so minus 1 common, so this point is z equal to minus 1 minus I. If I take z equal to 1 minus I, so 1 comma minus 1, so this point will be z equal to 1 minus 1. Okay, so you can see that we can represent a complex number in a plane. This plane is called a Argand plane or a complex plane, where x-axis means the real axis and the y-axis is called the imaginary axis. So in general form, if we put this point a comma b, then we have, this is our rectangular axis, this is the real axis and this is the imaginary axis, and this point is a comma b, or z equal to a plus ib. Means if I draw a point, draw a line to the real axis, okay, so this distance is b and this distance is a, then you can easily calculate the distance of the line OP. So OP is, look, there is a formula, coordinate of the point O is 0 comma 0 and coordinate of the point P is a comma b. So the distance between the point O and P is under root over of a minus 0 whole square plus b minus 0 whole square, that is under root over of a square plus b square. This term is called modulus of the given number. So modulus of given number is denoted by mod z, which is equal to under root over of a square plus b square. So what is the modulus? So modulus is the distance of the point from the origin. Distance of the point from the origin is called a modulus. Now we'll learn the argument and of a complex number. Argument of a complex number. Let us consider a point P whose coordinate is x comma y. That means P is a complex number denoted by z equal to or a comma b, take a comma b, a comma b. So z is a complex number denoted by z equal to a plus I into b. Okay. Join P to the origin O. So argument means the angle made by the line joining the point and the origin to the x axis. So this angle is called a argument. Or it is called amplitude. So amplitude means the angle made by the line joining the point P to the origin with the x-axis. Now there may be three cases. Case number one, if the point is lie on the first coordinate, if the point lie on the second coordinate, means here. So the argument will be this line. Okay, if the point lie on the third coordinate, here. So this is the argument of the line. And if it lie on the fourth quadrant, so this is the angle made by the line with the positive direction of x-axis along anti-clockwise direction. Okay, so argument will lie in any interval of length 2 pi, means 0 less equal to theta less than 2 pi. But if we consider the interval as minus pi less than theta less equal to pi, then the argument is called principal argument or principal amplitude. If you consider this interval, then it is a maybe argument. But if you are asked to calculate the principal argument, so the angle must be between minus pi to plus pi. If anything is not mentioned, then we always have to calculate the principal argument of the function. Okay, so now let's see how to calculate the principal argument of a complex number in three different cases. Okay, let me give you some example. Suppose z equal to 1 plus I root 3. So obviously this point will lie on the first coordinate. Okay, this is 1 and this is root 3. Let this point is P, Q and this point O. And this is the angle made by the line joining the point P to O with the positive direction of x-axis. Okay. So let the angle is alpha. Okay. Now, and this angle is 90 degree. Now if I calculate tan alpha, so tan alpha is, we know tan alpha is perpendicular by base. That means tan alpha is equal to root 3, and root 3 means tan 60 degree, means pi by 3, means alpha equal to pi by 3. So here amplitude equal to amplitude of z, or you can say argument of z is equal to theta, means that is equal to alpha pi by 3. Okay, so if I consider another number, suppose minus 1 minus I root 3, minus 1 minus I root 3, means if the points lie on the second quadrant here, This is the P point, this is the Q point, this is O point, this is the positive direction of x-axis, and this is y. So this will be the argument or amplitude of the given number. Okay, draw a perpendicular line, suppose Q, so the point is -1 comma √3. So this is 1 and this height is √3. If we consider this angle as alpha, then tan alpha will be √3 by 1. √3 by 1 means √3, means alpha equal to again pi by 3. This angle is pi by 3. Okay, so what is the argument of the complex number? So argument of the complex number z is equal to pi minus alpha. Pi minus alpha. So pi minus pi by 3, which is equal to 5 by 3. Okay. So always we have to calculate the alpha, and if it is lie on the first quadrant, so alpha equal to theta. If the point lie on the second quadrant, then argument is equal to pi minus alpha, and if it is third quadrant, then I am telling you what we have to do. Now in third quadrant, let z equal to -1 minus I √3. -1 minus I √3. If I draw the diagram, so -1 minus I √3. This point is P, this is O. If I draw a perpendicular line Q, okay. So if we calculate the principal argument, then in that case we have to calculate it along clockwise direction. If we measure it anti-clockwise direction, so the means value of the argument will be more than 2 pi. Will be more than 2 pi. But for the principal argument, the interval must be minus pi to pi. So in that case, we will calculate anti-clockwise direction. So if this angle is alpha, then similarly we can say tan alpha is equal to √3 by 1, or you can put the minus sign, but in that case you have to put a modular sign, mod sign. That means alpha equal to again pi by 3, and here the argument will be, here it is minus pi minus pi minus alpha. So this is minus pi minus alpha. Okay, so that is minus of pi minus pi by 3, that is equal to minus 2 pi by 3. And if it is on the fourth quadrant, so argument will be minus of alpha. Okay, so if the point lie on the first quadrant, then argument is equal to alpha. If it's lie on the second quadrant, so the argument is equal to pi minus alpha. If the point lie on the third quadrant, then argument is equal to minus of pi minus alpha, and if lie on the fourth quadrant, so argument is equal to minus alpha. Clear? Okay. Now with the help of this concept, we'll solve few problem from your exercise number 5.2. Find the modulus and argument of the following complex numbers. So the first question is z equal to -1 minus I √3. Clear? Okay, so modulus of z means mod z is equal to, we know the formula, that is a square plus b square, that is equal to under root over of 1 plus 3, that is equal to 4, and that is equal to 2. So modulus of the complex number equal to 2. Now we will have to calculate the argument of the complex number. Now if alpha is the angle made by the line with the positive direction of x-axis, with the positive direction of x-axis, then tan alpha equal to mod of b by a, that is equal to root 3, and hence alpha equal to pi by 3. Now as the point lie on the third quadrant, so argument of z will be minus of pi minus alpha, that means minus pi minus alpha means pi by 3, that is equal to minus 2 pi by 3. So argument equal to minus 2 pi by 3. Okay. Now we'll learn how to find the polar equation of a complex number. Polar equation means equations containing the distance of the point, which is denoted by r, and the angle made by the line with the positive direction of x-axis. Means if a equation containing r and theta, then this equation is containing called a polar equation. So let us consider a point P whose coordinate is x comma y in complex plane. So this distance is x and this distance is y. Okay, and let the distance of the point P from the origin is r, and which is called mod of z. R means mod of z. If this angle is theta, then we have sin theta equal to, we know the sin theta equal to perpendicular by base. Perpendicular means y, base means perpendicular by hypotenuse means r. That means y equal to r sin theta. If we calculate cos theta, we know it is base by hypotenuse. So x equal to r of cos theta. Therefore, we know that the complex number P is equal to x plus iy. That means put the value of x. So r cos theta plus iota into r sin theta. If we take r common, so it will be cos theta plus I sin theta. This is the polar form of a complex number. Z equal to r cos theta plus I sin theta, where r is the modulus of z and theta is the amplitude or argument of z. So if you are asked to convert a Cartesian equation into its polar form, so we have to put the equation into this form: r equal to cos theta plus I sin theta, where r is the modulus and theta is the amplitude of the complex number. Okay, let's solve few problems. Okay, so first problem is convert each of the following complex number to its polar form. Question number 3. Z equal to 1 minus I, 1 minus R. Okay, so we'll consider, let 1 equal to R cos theta and minus 1 equal to r sin theta. Okay, now if I square let this is number 1 and this is number 2. Now squaring 1 and 2 and adding together, we have r square cos square theta plus r square sin square theta, that is equal to 1 square plus minus 1 whole square. if we take r square common, it will be cos square theta plus sin square theta is equal to 2, or r square equal to 2 means r equal to root over 2. We'll neglect the negative sign, as r means the distance of O and P, and distance never be negative. That's why we are neglecting the negative sign. That means modulus of the function is equal to root over 2. Now we have to calculate the argument of the function. So let alpha is the angle made by the line with the positive direction of x-axis. Then we know that the tan alpha equal to formula is b by a. So here b equal to minus 1, a equal to 1. So which is equal to 1. Means alpha equal to, tan alpha equal to 1 means tan pi by 4. That means alpha equal to pi by 4. So value of alpha is now known. Now look at the point. The point is obviously lying on the fourth quadrant, and on fourth quadrant we know argument of z is equal to minus alpha, theta equal to minus alpha, so that is equal to minus pi by 4. Therefore polar form of the given equation will be z equal to r means root over 3 cos of minus pi by 4 plus iota sin minus pi by 4. So this is the polar form of the given complex number. Okay, let's solve one more problem. Suppose question number 5. Question number 5 is z equal to minus 1 minus I. We have to calculate we have to convert it into its polar form. So we'll consider minus 1 equal to r cos theta and minus 1 equal to r sin theta. So this is our equation number 1 and this is our equation number 2. Now if I squaring equation number 1 and 2 and adding together, we have r cos theta plus whole square r sin theta whole square is equal to minus 1 square minus 1 square, means r square into cos square theta plus sin square theta, which is equal to 2, means r square equal to 2. That means r equal to root over 2. That means modulus of the function is root over complex number is root over 2. Now we have to calculate its argument. Now if alpha is the angle made by the line joining this point to the origin with the positive direction of with the x-axis, then tan alpha will be formula is minus of b by a, mod of minus of b by a. That means tan alpha equal to 1, which is equal to tan pi by 4, means alpha equal to pi by 4. Now look at the point, as the point is lying on the third quadrant, so we know argument of z, which is equal to theta, is equal to minus of pi minus alpha, means minus of pi minus the value of alpha equal to pi by 4, which is equal to minus of 3 pi by 4. So argument of z equal to minus of 3 pi by 4. Now therefore polar form equal to polar form of the given complex number z equal to r cos of theta, means 3 pi by 4, plus I sin theta minus 3 pi by 4. Now on the next line, cos of minus theta, we know it is cos theta, and sin of minus theta equal to sin theta. So the answer will be root 2 cos of 3 pi by 4 minus I sin 3 pi by 4. Hence, this is the polar form of the given equation. Okay, I am doing the now last question, question number 7. Question number 7. Z equal to root 3 plus I. So we'll consider root 3 equal to r cos theta and 1 equal to r sin theta. Now squaring these two equations and adding together, we have r square equal to 3 plus 1. So r equal to 2. Value of r equal to 2. Now if alpha is the angle made by the line joining origin to this point with the x axis, then we know that tan alpha equal to mod of b by a. That means tan alpha equal to 1 by root 3 means tan pi by 6. Tan pi by 6, that means alpha equal to pi by 6. Now look at the point. The point is lying on the positive direction of on the first quadrant. So argument of z theta equal to argument of z will be equal to alpha, means pi by 6. Therefore polar form of the complex number is z equal to, actually the formula is r cos theta plus I sin theta. Now put the value r equal to 2 cos pi by 6 plus I sine of pi by 6, which is the complex form of the given problem. Okay, so this exercise is almost completed, and the problem which I have not done here, you try it. Next step will start the next exercise 5.3. Okay, thank you.